Hi, welcome to the Shelley Studio. Today I'm working on my project for Gina Bierne's Designs. She has given us a little bit of a challenge this month where we have to use, what was it? 2 stencils and 1 digital item from her Etsy store in a unique way. I'm not sure how unique this is. I have done a bottle art before actually using her products, but I have really wanted to do something that looks like a journal page on a bottle, and I have plenty of these bottles lying around. They are coconut syrup bottles from my Dirty Dr. Peppers. Yeah, I like Dirty Dr. Peppers. So I did take some black gesso and coat the bottle. I did 2 coats, but it is glass, so it can scrape off. So I decided, since the object is not going to be black in the end, it doesn't really matter which color gesso I used. I just thought black would be fun. Plus, my black gesso is getting a little thick from sitting around, so it needed to be used up. And, sorry, I'm rambling a little. So, the reason I glued the tissue over the top is to prevent any scratches or chipping of the paint off the glass. That's where I was going with that. So, once I do that, I shouldn't have any issues with that at all. So, that's why I did it. Now, I was trying to think of how you do a journal page, or how I do a journal page a lot of the times is I will collage pieces of paper down as my base. Since I've already got the tissue on there, I'm just adding some random book pages. And if you read in there, I tried to make it less interesting pages. It's all about mental illness. It was a book I got at the DI. I bought it for the cover. But now I have all these pages, so I want to use them up. Now here I am using, I believe the color is Sky Blue from Craftsmart. I will list the colors below if you're interested at all in which color combination I used. And then I think that one is English Navy. But like I said, I'll list it below. So I did 1 coat using a stencil brush over the bottle. And then this one, I'm mixing with the leftover matte medium that I had and just creating a glaze. Now it's very dry here in my climate, so I was testing how long I need to leave it on. And actually not very long, if I want any of it to come off. So I actually just brush it on and wipe it off almost immediately, because I just want a subtle little variances, and I think it creates a great texture on the bottle with the tissue layer and then the stippling of the stencil brush, and then this in the close-ups you'll see. Really like the texture. Anyway, and I just go around and do all this. A good medium to use for this is like a glazing medium, but I had all that matte medium already sitting on my paper there that I figured I would use it up. Why not, right? I'm trying to try and make that even because it dried more on the edges. So here are a couple of her digital downloads. She has some square ones that are her art and then some circle ones that are her art. And I'm just picking a few of those out to use. And we'll create sort of a collage cluster with that. And then here's 2 of her stencils. I'll list the names of them down below. I'll also put links on there. Also remember, if you look below, you'll have the link to her shop, her link tree, which has all of her sites, plus a discount code. It's Margelle15 for 15% off of any of the products in her Etsy store. So I'll have all of that down below for you. So this is just kind of a stylized figure sitting in a lotus blossom. I think that's what it's supposed to be. I really like these. She has at least 2 designs, and they're just kind of fun, abstract sort of designs. And this is the paper I'm stenciling this onto is another one of her digital downloads. It's just a scrap I had left over from her previous project. So she has full sheets of digital paper, and then she has the ones that fit labels. And yeah, lots of fun stuff in her store. So once it's dry, I'm just going to cut it out and create... Oh, I ink around the edges just to get rid of the white line, just in case it shows up. And then we're going to create a little collage cluster. It took me a little while to figure out how exactly I wanted to arrange it. Sorry, that inking took a bit. I could have edited that, I guess. I edited a lot of the stuff in the beginning because it took a long time. So I'm just looking at how I want that to be arranged, and now we're going to figure out exactly what order I want to put it in. And it actually did take me a while to figure out, and I don't show you the whole thing. I show you the basics. So here I'm inking around the edges of everything. So her circle ones are designed to fit onto round Avery labels, but I just printed them out, so I had to cut that out, and I did ink it a little bit. And now to figure out what order I want to put it in. But I don't make you watch that part. I did, however, decide that I think I want a base around the bottom of the bottle, and I took some leftover book paper and I just snipped a fringe at the bottom of that, thinking that that will help it curve around the base of the bottle, and I think it worked really well. You can see the individual lines, but you don't get lumps and bumps, which I think was very helpful. And of course I inked around the edges of those too. I'm just smoothing it to make sure I don't have any bubbles. And of course I've got matte medium on my fingers so they stick to the bottle. Be careful when you're doing this. You could damage your project with sticky fingers. Alright, I'll put the rest of that on. I won't show you. We'll wait for it to dry. Okay, so while that's drying, I figured out what order I want my little cluster to go in. So I'm just tacking it a little bit. And then securing it all down. There we go. And then we're going to add our little figure on there. Alright, so now figure out the placement on the bottle and glue it on. I'm trusting my glue stick. Hopefully it will hold up. I actually, I don't know if I showed it or not, I actually went over it with matte medium on top. Because I decided I wanted to do a little bit of shading around some edges. And so I wanted it sealed down. You have to be careful doing that if you do it over a glued surface, because you can get bubbling. I don't think you see much bubbling. Alright, so there's a couple of flourishes on this stencil that I wanted to put back in to the design. Like those two places right there. Wasn't going on very dark, so I take a paintbrush and darken those up just a little bit. There we go. Fix a few places. So I have paint out now. I want to paint. Alright, so the challenge was to use 2 stencils, so here is another stencil, and I'm just going to use the dots from it and add a little bit of gold, some gold dots around the bottle, just for some extra fun. And this one is Liquitex, I think it's antique gold. And really, I'm just picking random places to stick the dots. Decide I want it on this shoulder of the bottle. Is that what they call that? Shoulder and the neck. A little bit more difficult. Her stencils are really good. I mean, they're stiff, so that was kind of hard to get it to go around that, but it worked pretty well. So this is Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen in a gray. Just because I was chicken to use black. Wasn't sure if I wanted it that dark. So I just put this gray color and shade it around. And I think it works well enough to get some shading and show those layers. Also go around the circle and the square of paper, I believe. Yeah. I've used her digital prints a lot in my projects. They're a lot of fun. Plus, once you've bought them and downloaded them, they're yours and you can reprint anytime you want. So it's a replenishable supply, which I like. So I have a few of her stamps here, and I'm actually just looking for words, and I found like inspired, artistic, and journey. So it says an inspired artistic journey. It makes a sentence. So I decided I pulled out some scraps of the book pages to stamp, but these words are a little tall to go on there. So they get trimmed pretty close. And Journey had to just go on a blank page because those are way too small. They're not going to fit. So see, this is the inside of that book that I was telling you about. It will not go to waste. And I bought it for like 50 cents. So if you've seen my flip book, is it a flip book? Lap book project, you'll see what happened to the cover of this book. That was back in December, I believe. I'm just staggering them on there. I kind of want one to go over the figure a little bit. And just gluing them on with my glue stick. As long as you use archival ink once it's dry, I could go over that with matte medium, but I don't think I do in this instance. I think I just glued them on and left them. Hopefully they'll stay. It's Yoo-hoo, so it's pretty good, right? I think it's pretty good. It's more expensive than, you know, Elmer's glue stick. Now, looking at it on camera, it's pretty readable, but I felt like the letters were a little faint, so I am just going over them with my pen. And this is a flexible brush tip pen. It's all in Japanese, I think, so I couldn't tell you the name of the pen. Came in an Art Snacks box back when I was doing that a year or so ago. Yes, I still have it. I got a lot of pens doing Art Snacks. So if you like pens and pencils and stuff, that's a fun subscription box to do. But I have more pens and pencils than I could possibly ever use. Because I play with paint more. Alright, so I had to do something to the neck of the bottle. So this is just some yarn that was hanging on my cart, and I decided it was a good enough color. So I'm just taking that and pulling it through. You like how I hide the string? Works better with a stiffer yarn. This is like lightly twisted wool or something. And I also made some dangles with some beads I had lying around. And I made 2 paper beads with that scrap of Gina's digital download. I am not a paper bead maker, so I'm sure you could Google paper beads on YouTube and find a tutorial on how to do that. Those are the first ones I've actually ever made. And they're very skinny, but they were done with a scrap. So I decided I think it's supposed to be a lotus flower, was looking a little wrong. It needed to look separate from the figure and stand out a little bit more. And then, yeah, so I added a little bit of metallic paint, and there we have it. So what do you think? Do you like it? I think it was a lot of fun. I hope you liked it. Please make sure you check out Gina's Etsy store and the links in the description below. Use Margel15 for 15% off. And thanks for watching.